Hello everybody. We're gonna get started in just a second. Okay, just gotta share this real quick. Dude, I was trying to set up OBS, and for some reason it's like giving me so much trouble. They changed the way that they like have you start streams and stuff like that. Okay, I think I got it. All right, there we go. Okay, so yeah, hello everybody. We're just going to be doing a little bit of work on Earthward. I mean, I've got some stuff like laid out for us to do, right? We're going to be doing a bit of drawing, fixing like a couple of things. We're going to be, you know, making a bit of world generation as well, so that'll be pretty fun. And then maybe after we'll like play a bit of music. I don't know. I have my guitar over there, but we'll see how far we actually get. My setup is so bad for this. It's absolutely like atrocious because I have this second monitor that you can't see, but it's basically, I don't have the cord that connects it to my computer. So I'm like using my phone to look at like the chat and things like that. Oh, I don't even think I can see the chat from here. Never mind. Well, that's not that good, is it? Or it's still loading. I honestly can't even tell. Let me open the app. Also, can you guys hear me okay? I also have a bit of a strange microphone setup going on here. Okay, there we go. I can see it. Hello. Okay, so the first thing we wanted to do was we wanted to work a bit on the NPCs. So like we have things like the merchant, right? And things like the rune wizard, and we want to be able to make them shoot their projectile, like swing their fire staff, or if the merchant is holding a wooden bow, like I think I've already got it like set right here to hold a wooden bow just for testing, but we want to make sure they can actually shoot at the player, because I'm pretty sure right now he swings the bow like it's like a sword or something, and it's pretty funny. It doesn't actually shoot an arrow, so we're gonna fix that to begin with. But then we're gonna be drawing. I'm actually really excited. We're gonna be drawing the tile sets, or a tile set for another world, so that's gonna be pretty cool. But one thing at a time. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are like familiar with GameMaker, but it's pretty cool. They basically just have a bunch of events that you can add to your objects. Like this one is like the one that gets updated every frame. And we want to look for where we're attacking. So I have like a little state system set up here for the NPC attacking. So I can go to this script. And this is where we shoot. I call the shoot method in here. It's been a while since I've looked in here, but you can see we have our item slot on use right here. So that's going to actually attack. And what we want to do is we want to sort of give this like a little bit of like, make sure that it is going towards the player, but we have to make sure that when we do like the on use or something like that, or before we even get here, we need to make sure that if you have like a ranged item or something like that, like right here, we have to make sure that if like our item is ranged or something, so we have our item slot item, and we just basically have to say if it's if it does range damage, or if its damage type is equal to damage type dot ranged. And then if it is, we don't want to put ourselves in the swinging animation. We want to put ourselves, well, I guess with no animation, right? Because the way that I do my range attacks is that there is no animation on it. You just sort of attack and then there's a cooldown after. So we can just, I guess, do that. And then in here we'll have custom logic for range attacks. And we'll just return there because I don't actually want to do anything else, because all of this stuff is just for swinging, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say we have an on shoot method as well for our items. So I can just do this actually. Item slot item dot shoot. Just like that. Yeah. On shoot. And first parameter taken as the creator, which is just going to be ourself, and then the direction is going to be the player direction, right? We want to go shoot towards the player. And then is there anything else? I think that's actually it. I think that's all we need to do. I have like a pretty robust system for dealing with this kind of stuff. It's kind of nice. Like whenever you make an item, you just go through here in the JSON and you can kind of add whatever you want. It's pretty neat. Okay, so that should make it so that they shoot like their actual web. Oh, we also need to set swinging to false. There we go. And probably we should probably also set our attack cooldown timer back to 0 too. Okay, so that should be good for that. I said here settings don't save anymore. Okay, let's look at the settings. Why aren't they saving anymore? I absolutely love how all this works though, because like when people end up getting this this game and like they end up buying it, you can actually just go into all these files yourself and you can just make your own items essentially, and like swap out all the textures for things that you made yourself. So you're like essentially modding in a way, but it's pretty like surface level. Yes, hello everybody. Glad to see some people are joining. Okay. So the settings are they're kind of neat. So it's like you can see these are literally all the settings. They get mapped to a certain key, and based on, you know, whether or not they're like true or false, they'll toggle themselves. It's kind of nice. And then they'll save as well. But I'm not sure. It could be that they're not saving in the right place anymore. So we're saying here, say, okay, this is probably why. We have to make sure we give it game save ID as well for the file path. Like that. Because I'm pretty sure that if I go into my app data here, this is like where all of the files get stored when you save something. If I scroll down, you can even see, this is something really cool. You guys might actually be interested in this. Every time that you play like a, is my Excel not, no, that's so sad, okay. But every time you play like a new like turn or round of Earthward, you get this telemetry data that gets sort of created, and you can see all of your stats. Like it'll even tell you like if you are in the US or something like that. So it's really great for just like player metrics. You can see there's also like the enemies you've killed and the damage taken. It's kind of fun. And there are the settings right there. So these are all of like just the default settings that get saved whenever you change something. It's kind of nice. This feels so weird. I'm just gonna put my phone, because I'm using my phone to like look to see what people are saying. So I'm just gonna put it on my computer. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So that should actually fix that one. Seems like some of these aren't too crazy. Like they're just things that I forgot to do. Okay. Chunks reused for other world. Okay. So the world generation is pretty neat in this. I'll run it so you can kind of take a look at what it's like. But pretty much you just have like these room prefabs. I think I mentioned it in a video before, but like you have these room prefabs, right? And each like section of your world is sort of made up of them. So if I go to the forest world real quick, you can kind of see this a little more easily. But like each one of these, see like these protrusions that come from the ground, like there and there. If I go back into Game Maker, and I go into one of my room prefabs, so like I'll do room 1 or something like that. This is ultimately all that it is. It's just I'm taking these rooms right here, and I'm just like stitching them together, and I'm putting them in like a random order. And within those rooms, there's like different resources and stuff that get generated. And it works, it ends up working really well. What is Earthward about? So Earthward is basically a 2D roguelike adventure action kind of game, where basically the premise is that the surface world has been completely destroyed and everyone was forced underground if they wanted to survive. But there's the thing that destroyed the surface, which I'm not going to say what that is yet. It's sort of like following you, and it's trying to basically weed out the last of life on whatever this mythical planet is that you're on. So that's sort of the premise there. And you're trying to outrun it, collect resources, so you can eventually either escape or maybe defeat it. You'll have to play it when it comes out. Get that bit of marketing there. Okay. Yeah, anyways, let's go, and we can actually spawn the merchant in here. I have a neat console. I hope this works. Oh, okay, just crashed. Unknown damage type. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's go back over there. I forgot I typed that wrong. Oh, that's really sick. Why did I stop making mods for Terraria? I just don't enjoy it, I guess, as much anymore. It's like you're already given like an entire framework to work with. I kind of just like want to make my own kind of things. I think that's more fun for the most part. But I don't know, maybe at one point I'll come back to making Terraria mods. I just don't enjoy playing Terraria as much anymore. I mean, I have like over 1,000 hours in that game. I played so much of it. Okay, let's check the damage type here. Oh my God, I hate how OBS does this to me. Whenever I like have it open, I can't see my cursor in the code thing, so I can't like double click on stuff. Okay, so the actual thing that I need to use is not damage type. It's gonna be just type. So that was my bad. All right, so what else do we have? Chunks for use for other worlds. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to make that room system that I was like just talking about like a little bit more efficient, right? So whenever that I create these room prefabs like this first one right here, I can reuse that for different worlds and just like change the tile set, which I'm not gonna do for all of them, right? I want to have some special and custom worlds, but it's just kind of nice to be able to reuse them. So I wanted to make it so that they all look the same, because I'm pretty sure the tile sets for like this stuff, yeah, look, so that one has like less stuff going on, but if I go to the dirt one, you can see there's like a couple more tiles, and I'm pretty sure I was designing them specifically for this tile set and not for like the other ones, so I just need to fix that. But that might be something that's like I can just do that on my own. Is that raining? Well, it's pretty sunny outside, so I'm not sure. I mean, it could be that my microphone, maybe let me see if I can do this. This is some Inception here, but my microphone is like, so it's like locked onto my desk, but the problem is that I can't take the clamp off because it was clamped anyway. One of my friends came over, he was helping me just like set stuff up, and he clamped like this thing that puts the microphone to the desk in a way that makes it impossible for me to actually take off. So it's just there in an awkward position. So I have to work around that, or I just need to like get a new clamp or something like that. But yeah, no, it's definitely not raining. Okay, what else do we have to do? Draw the ancient jungle tile set. That's right. Okay, you can see there's so much stuff open already. All right. Let's copy the mushroom tile set. I have, so you can see there's some other stuff that's there too that I was drawing. We'll get rid of you and you and you. And I also don't need these mushroom trees there, but we do want to use this tile set there. So like I'm thinking for world progression, what I kind of had the idea of just like going from the forest, right, to then maybe the mushroom place, to then maybe like the ruins, which is like the jungle sort of area, and then I wanted to have like some kind of like a tundra, or maybe some like a like hell sort of area that's like obsidian and fire themed. I think that'd be cool. And I also want to have like a desert tool, like just like some underground desert temple or something like that. I think that'd be neat. And then, oh, actually, you know what? I think I actually have a list of all this stuff. If I go to my level select, at least I should. I remember writing all this down before. Just scrolling through all my code because I can't see my cursor. Here, look, there it is. Okay, yeah, there we go. This is old. I don't actually use this code right now. All of like the worlds and stuff are done through Visual Studio. Through JSON data. So like, oh, looks like I already had it open. Okay, but like if you go here, I have a worlds folder, and you can just define the worlds in here. So these are all of the worlds that I currently have, but you just add one there and change some stuff. It's pretty easy. Okay, so yeah, the names I had were Faded Forest, Toadstool Valley, Ancient Ruins, then the Stone City. Okay, that was another one. That was like the dungeons kind of area. And then the Buried Desert, then the Ashen Tunnels, and then the final place would be Hades Palace. So there'd be 7 main worlds, which I think is pretty decent. I can obviously like add more and stuff if I want to. Okay, anyways, I'm getting distracted. We want to draw this jungle tile set here. And we actually don't want to use this as a reference. So let me actually get rid of that. Or now we can just put its opacity down, I guess. But this is going to be a different style. We're not going to do like, you know, like the grass necessarily, because I want to make them a little bit different. So let's just choose like basic green. Do like some leaves or something. Yeah. We actually have to make sure that this has to make sure that we stay the same. Like that. There we go. And then we can just add like leaves here. So we can make some leaf shapes. I'm working on a pretty interesting video right now. It's about, I tried to learn to draw in 7 days. I've already completed I've like done the whole challenge already, but I just have to upload that and record some extra footage for that. So that should be pretty exciting. We'll see. I want to see what you guys' opinions are, some of the drawings. 100 biomes are the best biomes. I absolutely agree. to a certain extent. They're the most fun to make music for. Okay. Let's make like the back. Let's also shift this over. I would need this to be, yes, just like that. Okay. Let's make that an entire brick just for the time being. And we also need to do that because we need to make it feel like it gets darker as it goes down. Okay. So like by the midway point, we'll get this dark. And then by like the very end, it has to get like this whole section right here has to pretty much just be like the black color, like the dark color of the thing. So it has to sort of like fade into that. If we want to copy this, right? If we want it to look something like that. And then of course we'll fix the colors. These are not the best colors at the moment. Okay, there we go. Let's also get rid of that. That one is kind of like in the way. All right, we'll do that. And then we'll use like this other color for the next ones. Let's actually make this one go the other way. Okay, video idea, guys. I was recently doing some research for this game that I wanted to make. So if you guys have seen the show Smiling Friends before, it's like there's this game that appears in one of the episodes. It's called Mouse Quest. I thought it'd be hilarious if like I made that game a real thing. And so I was looking for like references for some of the character names because I wanted to make it like a World of Warcraft kind of style game. And I ended up finding this list that was called like it was like a list of fictional books that had characters that were rodents or like mice or something. And I thought it would be hilarious if I made a video that was about me reading every single book that had fictional mice in it. Because that's just an insane thing to do. Like probably no one has ever done that before. I mean, like, why would they? There's no reason. Also, hello to the people who said hi. We also need to give this one more fade. I'm also thinking we should maybe make it in a way that's like makes like the fades in the shape of leaves too. I think that would be even cooler. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. I'm not the best pixel artist, but so long as you can get your point across, I think you're pretty much fine. So I'm not too worried. Let's leave that there. Exactly. Yes. So okay, someone got it. That's gonna be like the main point of the whole thing is like there's gonna be when you reach max level, you're just gonna immediately level up to level like whatever that is. 987,413. Very, very specific, but that's what was in the show. Okay, let's do that. We can also like put some of these up here, I feel like, no? Make it feel like it's a bit more spread out. Because that doesn't feel right, like having it be right there. Spreading is fun. It really is fun. It's one of my favorite parts about making a game, even if like you're not like the best at it. This massive blob right here, like what does that even mean, you know? Let's move that up a bit. Move that up. It's not a pixel stream. It is a development stream. We're just doing both because we had like a list of stuff over here, and some of it was coding, some of it was drawn. But we're gonna actually be like playing around with stuff. We'll probably do a playtest as well, or I'll do a playtest at least, because I need to. I'm trying to get like a demo ready soon, even if it's like just a pre-alpha version. I think it'd be nice to get some feedback from like people other than me on the game. Yeah, I don't like this leaf so far, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It usually takes me a while to like get the feel of what I'm trying to make, but then once I do, I use like that style for like that whole world, you know what I mean? Okay, let's choose some better colors now. I think actually more blue would do good. And then the final one can be like this. And then we also need to make sure that it fades in to that. Right. Or something like that. I feel like it's like too grainy, you know what I mean? I feel like we need to make the leaves like larger. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, like I can always start drawing this and then just like edit it later. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's kind of the nice part about making digital art, which I have learned from trying to draw for a week, is that you can actually pretty easily edit your stuff. Okay, I guess it doesn't look that bad. I can work with it. Now let's keep the top. Okay. looking at it from afar. Okay, let's actually stick with that. Let's stick with that for now. As long as it tiles well. Looks like we can maybe fix like this looks a little bit weird when you tile it. So we can fix that. Yeah, and then maybe instead of having it come from the side, you can have something like that. No, like that. Yeah, and then we tile it like this. It's okay. Sure. It should be okay. Highlights might be too distracting for the floor. Yeah, that might be true. It's always difficult to get it the way that I want it to, because it works for this sort of, like it works for this style, but for like the leaf version of it, I don't know if it really works as well. So we'll see. We can always put it in the game, see what happens. And then of course we gotta draw like the sides, you know what I mean? Because you also have to look at it as in like the whole, not just like a single block, because like that's not how it's gonna look in the game. It's gonna look completely different, especially since there's like some post-processing effects. A pleasant gradient at your door. Yeah, the gradient is all right, although maybe too much hue shifting. I'm not sure. You. I also noticed. Okay. We'll add some indentation there to make it feel a little bit more natural. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I can see this working. You know, I can see this working. Just so we have like a somewhat of an idea of what we're doing. Let's just expand that out a bit. Okay. Like I want to hit like that balance of you know, having it feel sort of like the other ones, but also different. It's tricky. It's only 16 by 16 tile sets. Someone said, hello, I'm working on a game, started a couple weeks ago. I have good knowledge in programming, yet I wanted to know how you're using, sorry, you can literally see I have like my phone up here. I wanted to know how your project is structured, objects, event managers, and classes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that was a pretty, engine architecture is like a thing that I've studied like pretty extensively. I've definitely done like a lot of work on like stuff outside of GameMaker, like just, you know, game engines in general. Like you can literally see that's a lot of projects. But I think when it comes to managing your objects, what I tend to do is I have this JSON parser, right? And if I go into Visual Studio Code, this is where I actually have most of the data for my game. It's all edited through JSON, which means that I can like change things while the game is running and reload it, right? So it's like dynamically loaded data. Like these are all the recipes right there. This is the music. The music is loaded externally. So if you guys ever wanted to add your own music to the game, you can just literally replace this here, right? It's pretty cool. And like all of my enemies are in here as well, stuff like that. And then the objects are just used to sort of manage that and to load that stuff in. I found that helps like a lot in development, because I don't have to like go into all the objects in here. And I end up having just like less stuff going on, you know, if you know what I mean. like if I go into my sprites, I think at one point before I went to like JSON driven data, it was like I made a sprite. You can see that's only sprite number 324. Think of how many textures are actually in this game, and you'll realize that most of them are just loaded like through here, right? So that's pretty neat. And so like what I'll do is I'll have things like an NPC parent object, which is where I give it things like behaviors, and I can just change the behavior of those NPCs, and I load that in through JSON. So like in here, this is my angry hornet, this is the enemy. I have it set up so that every variable that I create through code in an object, I can also set it here as well, which is really powerful because it means I've essentially serialized all of my data for my objects, which is really awesome. Like you can see I can change the speed, chase speed, like the death sound, even the projectile that it shoots and everything. It's great stuff. What would the surface look like if the player went to it? Well, it's very interesting is that I've sort of like unintentionally made a connected universe between some of my games. So there was a game that I was working on like in the past that I actually ended up scrapping for the time being because it was just a little bit too ambitious. It was so if you don't know, I released a game, my first ever game on Steam that I made when I was like 16. Yeah, it was not good at all. It had a lot of issues with it, but it was called Bitlands. And it was essentially like you went to traverse like these different worlds, and at the end you fought this dragon who had basically like killed the king of the Bitlands and taken over. And there's a whole narrative there. I don't need to explain the whole thing, but there was a sequel that I had planned to that game. It was called Bitlands Fallen Kingdom, and it actually had like at least what I thought was like a pretty cool premise. It was less of an action game and more of like a narrative sort of thing, but you would basically just go to these different places and you would like uncover this plot to basically destroy the king. And I'm not going to spoil it because I actually might end up making that a thing later, but Earthward is actually connected to those two plots there, and there's references to a lot of those projects in there. So if you ever play Bitlands, you'll actually get a few references in Earthward from there. Okay, we need to connect these two now, because like look, we have like yeah. Okay, let's make a connector thingy. Okay. Yeah, no, we have to use this color. Or no, we have to use this color. So we'll just make this like solid, and then have this more stuff branch out here. This one is like more specific, so I don't have to, you know, be as accurate. Okay. Oh, sorry, I had that. The mushroom stuff was still there. Okay. Let's have to go this direction. Variety is very important. Okay. I think we'll give this a shot and see how it looks in the game. It doesn't need to be complete. We can just like take part of what we have. Because I mean, like it doesn't actually look too bad. Like it could look worse. I feel like. You know what I mean? Okay. I think we should maybe like just add a little bit more around here maybe, but that's kind of it. Yeah, I think we can do like a playtest now. We're about there. Let's just mirror this on the other side. Billions. Yeah, I'm honest. Billions was like I made like stuff before that, but it was never like, you know, never really published it. So it wasn't like it was the first time I'd ever done any of that stuff. But it was the first game I think where, actually no, someone did help write the menu music for that game, which is probably like the biggest banger in that whole thing. I think his name was Straight Up Gruntled, I think, on YouTube. You might be able to find him there. But I loved making the art for that. That was probably like, that's where like I got my art style pretty much, was from making that. Okay, let's actually save this as it is. I have like an old forest, I think. Do I have an old jungle tile set? I don't think it looked very good. Yeah, that looked kind of weird. Kind of funky. So, delete. Although I do kind of like how it had like larger leaves, you know? That was kind of a neat part of it. Actually, yeah. I won't edit it right now. We can use what we have, but I think we also need to make sure we have a darker color here. Something like that. The coding app. This is Game Maker Studio 2. It's pretty good if you want to just make 2D games, so that's like what I'm doing. But if you want to make stuff like that's a little more advanced, maybe probably go with something else. I'm considering making or using Godot in the future, because I've heard some people say some pretty good stuff about that, and it looks pretty neat. Is it too bright? I think it's too bright. We don't want the tile set should just be like supplementary to the actual game, because we don't want to focus on the tile set while we're playing. We want to focus on the game elements. Having it be darker might actually be better. And then obviously the highlights as well need to come down. That's too much. Don't worry, we actually need to make those changes in the ASprite file and not just in GameMaker. But I think we'll leave this there for now. Having the highlights is just kind of nice, so like you know exactly where the floor is at all times. All right. We'll also save this in here. Jungle tile set. We are gonna need to get some nature tiles though too. I think I have some pretty bad old ones. Yeah. Although it looks like I put some effort into making these. I don't know what I was doing with the rest of this stuff though. That's interesting. Huh. These look like more like objects. Like this is just a straight up statue of someone. And that actually looks kind of cool. I might use that. Or like fix it up or something. A special one. Yoink those colors over here. Come on. And then for these flowers, let's fix those as well. Those are some. Well, okay, in the jungle, there's gonna be a lot of like foliage. So I have to sort of figure out what I want to do. Lots of flowers for sure. That's something we need. Oh, and by the way, to show you how nice this room prefab system is, let's actually okay, let's first draw the flowers. All right, let's have like some foliage that we can use. But then we'll make a room and we'll add it to the game. Because I don't think I actually have made any rooms yet for the jungle. I don't like that blue. Let's go to the, let's grab the red and the blue from the mushrooms. So I've already worked on adding those colors. No reason to not use them. Same goes for the green as well. We're gonna have obviously a new green, like the jungle green for this stuff, you know, so it's not like as dull as it was. I'm also not sure what this massive thing is. Just kind of there. We'll also make some grass as well. Whoa. Okay. Keep the shading simple. None of the nature things are gonna ever have outlines, but like if you put a black background on it, you can sort of see this is what it'll look more like in the game. We'll add more flowers too, for sure. And this tree actually looks much nicer. Let's make that into its own tree. So we'll create a new object, that'll be the jungle tree. And we'll give it this new texture. We'll add that in here into our structures. And let's actually just duplicate. Actually, instead of this, let's go to our other tree. We'll just duplicate it and remake this sprite. So we have this tree, SPR tree, jungle. So the way I do the trees is I just do this because I want to be able to like have them, you know, more dynamically grown. So you just have like segments of them. That's pretty much it. But the difference is that we're going to have a different color for these ones. Right. We'll choose that color a little bit later. I guess we can do it now. I want this to be a little more colorful, a bit more saturated. But not as orange as the other one. We want this to be more like jungly. So that means being like more pink and red. So something like that. Okay, and then let's get rid of this. Okay, then we'll put some outlines on it. I should add a monkey enemy for the jungle. That would be something. I mean, I do need enemy ideas. Always need enemy ideas. I think that's the hardest part. Making a new world. Okay, and then we just want to pretty much just do that. Just mirror it. Although, make sure the shading is consistent. Okay. And then top, get this. Okay, cool. So let's outline this. Then we gotta change its color as well. Okay. Yoink that thing. Or actually, no, we already have. No, we don't. Do we? We do. These colors. Okay. All right, there we go. So we have a jungle tree now. It's very nice. Okay. So now let's go. Let's actually give it this texture because we haven't given it the texture. And let's go make a room, and then we can actually go and do stuff in the jungle forest. So I have a folder for my faded forest and a mushroom. Let's make a new one. Call this Ancient Ruins. And I'll actually just completely steal this one. This will be the first prefab. And so then what I can do, I should have a tile set for the jungle. And then you can kind of see what it might look like. I think it's better if I draw the stuff to be bigger. And I'll see there's no walls yet. because I didn't draw the walls. Let's also delete. No, sorry, not delete, but close everything. We just have so many things open, it's lagging. I think the this, whatever that is, should be darker. Actually more blue as well. That's what I'm thinking. That's too blue. But yeah, I think I'll probably make like the leaves themselves bigger because it just looks very grainy in this. And obviously we haven't drawn like the rest of the tiles yet. Like these ones. But for now we'll just use the old ones. So you can kind of get an idea of what it might look like, and then we can go into the nature, which we also need to change the tile set for that as well. And then we can add like the grass. The grass gets sort of automatically generated though on the floor whenever you make the world, but like just for the sake of seeing how it would look like, you know, here like you could just like put a bunch of stuff over there. Put a tree there. Not sure why this is part of the tile set, but whatever. And of course there's like vines and stuff that get generated, which is kind of neat. The monkey no here emote. Okay. And so if I want to add this room, we can go in here and I just define it. So like, say I don't actually have any rooms yet for this place. Ancient ruins. I would literally just take this and then be like, okay, what's like the world that it's in? It's going to be the ancient jungle. And then the name of the prefab is that. And then you can also define like, if it's like a normal room, then it can always be generated several times. But if it's like a special room, it only gets generated once, so it gets removed from like the random check once it gets generated. It's kind of neat. So hopefully when we run this, we should be able to see that room in there. Or maybe not actually, because I just realized we set, when I say all for all these rooms, it means it'll take it from those as well. So we might get that room, but we might not. Okay, let's create this guy. What engine is it? Is GameMaker? Yes, this is GameMaker Studio 2. Oof. Jungle, yeah, okay. I don't remember adding this music here. Okay. Just FYI, that enemy, I have not programmed that in yet. That's just sort of just chilling there at the moment. But yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. So you can see it's generating automatically like this stuff on the floor. But like you can see what I mean. Like all I did was pretty much draw the tile set for this place and make like a single room, and that's it. And the reason why it's generating these trees is because I didn't actually say anything to make it change the tree it generates. But if I go in here, turn that down. But if I go in here, I can just go into my world, go to my ancient jungle, and then when I say the tree, I can set my tree to be this. The O jungle tree, or just the jungle tree, like that. Pretty awesome. Should be the O jungle tree. So it'll generate now the jungle tree that's in there. Yeah, isn't it such like a neat system? It makes it so easy for me to like instead of just coding like ridiculous amounts, I can just focus on actually designing stuff. It's really great. And then of course like if I go through, I might find like you can see it's using like some of the tiles are like gone because I'm not like I'm using like I didn't draw all of them. So there's just like some black ones over there. But it's cool. Look at that, I got a cookie. Let's eat the cookie. Okay, we can do like a play test now, I think. I don't necessarily need to draw the whole, maybe I can keep drawing a little bit more. But I think it looks decent. Coding language do I use? So it kind of depends. For if you're talking about Earthward, it's in GML, which is like a mix of Python, Java, and C#. But if I'm doing like pretty much anything else, I'm gonna be using C++. Or if you're modding Terraria, it's also C#. But like this is a like a game engine I've been working on for a little while. It's 3D. It's done in C++. This is just in Visual Studio. Like there's no IDE or anything. But this one is sort of like super. It's just like for learning purposes. But essentially, it's like you can go in here. Like these are all like models and stuff. That I've made. But say like I want to add another entity or something, I can just go to the root, do that, and I can give it some like components or give it like a model. So I could like give this one like a crystal model and then give it a crystal texture. And so you can see that it's just there. And I can go to my transform and I can like move it around. Or I think I can actually use I can use these arrow keys to sort of like position it. So that's kind of cool. And then I press play, and then you can see like I'm running around on the ground and stuff. And then there's like hitboxes and everything. So like my coding language that I'm most proficient in is going to be C. Like this whole rendering pipeline for 3D and stuff like that is all done in C. Like all of the the mesh creation and stuff and the editor is all done in C and I'm GUI. So that's what I usually will program in, but we don't need to look at that right now. We're here to use game engine because making one takes much longer. Trying to learn for Lua. Okay, yeah, Lua's pretty nice. Lua's like just a scripting language, so it's pretty neat in that respect. Is that like what you can do is of course you can like make variables and stuff like that, but you're not going to be like defining necessarily any of like that. You can't interact with the game's variables. You can only interact with what it exposes to you, and in that respect, it's pretty neat because you're like just working with an API, and so you can like really quickly like make stuff. Kind of like GameMaker, I guess, in a way. Like you're not building an engine; you're just using what they've given you, right? Okay, let's keep drawing. Let's keep drawing. Where did I put so many sprites? Let me exit out some of these sprites. There's too many of them. Okay. So you need to be darker, more blue. And my leaves need to be bigger. So this is what I've learned. Hello, Jerbob. The man named Jeremy. Yeah, I've definitely okay, because I don't like the color of these old ones, but it's definitely like the style is kind of better. I don't know, we can try making something more in the style of that. I'm gonna go sleep. You must be in a different time zone or something, because it is 1 p.m. for me. I don't think I could ever sleep this early. Yeah, okay. It definitely is better if we use like larger leaves, because it did just look too grainy before. Yeah, okay, for sure. All those small thingies right there, don't need them. Don't need them at all. Oh yeah, you can tell more when you zoom out as well. Oh God, I just need to I need to just buy the cable for this monitor, because like this is so bad. I'm literally like looking, if I ever want to look at what people are typing, I actually just have to go on my phone. It's so awful. So I'm like looking to the right just so I can see what people are saying. Time map looks good. Yeah, thank you. It's for a new biome that we're trying to work out the logistics of at the moment. Maybe we'll actually make some music for it too. Haven't done that in a while. I know you've been working on quite a lot of like 3D stuff lately. How's that been going? Let's make this one a bit bigger too. Just like I have to move my head to see this. I use Lua just to get the hang of coding. That's honestly a pretty great way, I think, to get the hang of coding. Because it's pretty much the same as other programming languages, because you know you make your variables and functions, but it's just like a little bit easier to test all that stuff out. Don't have to be like constantly recompiling. Okay, we need to have bigger things here too. Yeah, there we go. So it definitely makes a pretty good difference. Also, no need for me to draw this several times. I can just copy this over. Good, but very slow progress. Yeah, that tends to be how it is in the 3D world. There's just too much to do. I was trying to learn how to like use Blender and stuff like that, and there's just so many like ways to do the same thing. Like I just don't know which is the best one to do. But I do like making 3D engines is a lot of fun. Like learning that whole pipeline. That's still much better, I think. This one could be chunkier. I actually don't like, let me get rid of this whole thing. This one needs to be different angle. Okay. Looks decent enough. Ah. Let's bring this to the center, because that does not tile right. And if you do it like this, it'll probably be fine. Just so long. It's the right shape. That's why Terraria is just better than Minecraft. Oh, because it's 2D. So that took me a while to get. Nah, 3D is actually awesome. If you can get 3D right, I think it's has the potential to be even more fun than 2D games. It's just harder to develop, I think. Was that a hot take? Did I just make a hot take there? I don't know. I just feel like there's more you can do in a 3D game. Okay. I think I'm okay with this. Try not to get too caught up in the details, 'cause that's never a good thing. I mean, it's better, but I guess we'll leave it as it is for now. There's some other stuff I also want to get done too. Yeah, okay, let's save this. All right. Very cool. Okay. So what else do we have on the list today? Oh, that's right. We wanted to draw like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. Oh, look, there's a cookie. very nice. Yeah, thank you. I think it's okay. Well, obviously there's more we gotta do because we gotta draw this stuff over there, but we'll get to it. So I want to draw like this mushroom war axe that just like floats throughout the world. That made probably no sense, but think of it like this. Let's open up paint. So you know, like those asteroids you saw that were just kind of like chilling in Earth. I'll probably be doing something. It'll be like that. You know, that's a pretty bad example, I feel like, of the war axe, but it'll be like a double-sided one. You know what I mean? If I knew the way to flip something. Oh, there it is. Flip horizontal. It's like a double-sided sort of like war axe thing that just like spins around. The paint explain, yes. Whenever you open paint to explain something, it doesn't matter if it's like the formula for time dilation or something. It's like you just understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is going to be like the handle. Let's make it like pretty large. I just want to like put obstacles in the world, you know, other than just the enemies. And then we want to make it like, let's just draw the silhouette, I think, first. Probably a good idea. I want to make it sort of like the mushroom axe kind of style. So it won't be like serrated edges or anything. We'll smooth this out. Make it feel more mushroomy. Let's actually just work on one side of this first. Needs to be bigger. Needs to be smaller. And I'm thinking we can use this color here as like the X. This is actually more difficult than it seems, because I don't want to make it like a normal blade. Maybe I should just make it a normal blade, because no one's gonna know what they're looking at. I can still make it like a mushroom blade, just like in the actual shape of a war axe, you know. Because like, look, that just looks like it makes so much more sense. Guinea Pig Adventures says hello. Well, hello. We're making mushroom war axes that float in the worlds in our game. So let's add some shading. Every good piece of pixel art needs some good shading. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's have the highlights go over everything else. Oh, we also need to give this outlines as well. Let's not forget to do that. I like the mushrooms. I like the mushrooms too. I think they're pretty neat. Oh, I should make like a version of this one that you can jump on and it gives you like a jump boost. That'd be cool. Let me add that to my mental notes for later. Okay, there we go. Let's take the darker red and we'll make it. One of the things that I've learned is to not have like too many internal outlines when you're making this kind of stuff. Helps a lot with pixel art, looking kind of nice. Let's take those darker mushroom colors too. Like so. Are you planning on adding magic? Oh, my friend, there's already magic. But there's going to be much more magic, yeah. There's going to be like bunch of different staffs and magic enemies and things like that. It's going to be pretty neat. You can already craft, like, if you get a bug net, which you can craft it, you can catch the fireflies that are around, and then you can turn them into, like, right now the only thing you can make with them is these firefly jars, which are like these magical thingies that you throw and then they break. It's kind of cool. Okay. I want to make it feel like, you know, those mushrooms, they have like the roots that sort of like go like that. Maybe that's a bit much. But I think that'd be a cool detail. I kind of like that. Okay, let's add the very dark colors now. Then we'll finish shading the actual mushroom. I think I'm gonna need to add more colors because this is a pretty large object. Oh, did I no. It's gotta be even. And sharp. Could you imagine like this is just like floating around in your world? That'd be pretty wild. Okay, let's add some splotches. You know. Look at that. Feeling very shroomy already. You can take the highlight as well, I'm thinking. And maybe like, you know, put it there. Because then it's like it really feels more like it's like sharp. Nah. There we go. I think that's good. No, right there. Okay. It's pretty big looking oh, wait. No, because I made a mistake. This needs to be like right there, no? Oh, it's because I have like this stuff. That I don't really need that there. Gonna be honest. Okay, the blade is pretty big, but we can probably fix that. I mean, I feel like it kind of makes sense to not have it, to not have like the roots on the bottom part. Looks more like a hammer. Yeah, it could be a hammer. So long as it looks like it's dangerous. As long as it is dangerous and looks like a mushroom. Those are the two key qualities that I'm looking for. Let's try this. I think it looks adequately dangerous. Add some indents to it maybe, I don't know. Might make it look a little bit more natural. Something like that. I can also, of course, like add stuff that's like growing out of it, you know? I think it's fine for now. Kind of like that. Okay, this actually, I like having the handles look like that. Okay, so this is gonna be the floating hammer. That wasn't so bad. Didn't take too long. Okay, let's go and bring it in. Floating rock. Wow. I really have great naming conventions here, don't I? Mushroom hammer. I've already got the AI for this thing, so I don't even have to worry about that. Just gonna make a new sprite. And fix up its collision mask, because we gotta make sure that, why would it ever be using, now why would it use the arrow's collision mask? Very interesting. Am I doing that for this? If I am, then that needs to stop. Yeah. Found a bug by accident there. Okay, so we need to make this precise. Because we need to make sure that you only get hurt when you touch, well, the hammer. Oh, and by the way, I actually made something, there's a very interesting thing you can do with this. So those floating rocks that you saw earlier, and we'll look at them again, but you can actually mine them with a pickaxe. It's just kind of dangerous because you might get hurt. But I think I'll maybe not do that for this. Maybe I will. Let's have a bigger spin speed though, because this thing's got to be rotating pretty fast. And because this is a harder world, we'll increase the damage too. And its resource color is red. And we want to add the red mushroom. Or actually, let's make it a giant red mushroom. 50% chance. So all of what I'm typing in here, I can also put in my JSON data too if I want. But I can, it's optional, you know. I'll just say mushroom hammer, that's what we'll call it. And we'll also give it a rune fragment. No. Okay, so now when we go and we create our world, we can spawn these things in. So I have in here spawn asteroid. Now I just have to check if like what world we're in. So I can say for our world, let's get current world. And then I can say, let's do it by name, right? Yeah, sure. But we can use a switch statement if we do that. Do we have any good, what's like a good, oh, we can just do it by the room. Yeah. So for the case where we're in the forest, we want to just have, or actually, let's just do this. Let's just make this the default case. And then in here, we'll do case room mushroom forest. And this is where we can add our mushroom hammer. Perfect. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. I feel like I always type case default whenever I do a switch statement like that. Developing in quotation marks. Hey, game development is multifaceted. What can I say? You gotta do a lot of different stuff. Okay, I mean let's see if this actually spawns. Cause I have no idea. I also want to fix that one thing we had earlier, where it was like damage type of the NPCs. Because we have the item slot item. If I could just, if my mouse would show itself, that'd be great. Okay, let's see what happens. Back in the jungle ruins. So, okay, I think that toss it actually does work much better. And you can see the tree over there too, the jungle tree. But because we're reusing some of the prefabs from older rooms, you'll still see like these normal trees every once in a while. We need to draw the rest of the tiles. It's good, I'll do that another time. Done enough drawing, I think, for today. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's go to the shroom room now. So it didn't crash. That's always good. I can also always spawn these. I keep forgetting. I can always spawn. Oh, what the? Okay, well there it is. It's using the same effect of the asteroid. I completely forgot to swap that out, but it's doing what it should be, I suppose. I'm gonna die if I touch it. Oh god. Oh, okay, well, I'm dead. I couldn't withstand the might of the hornet. What can I say? Okay, let's go fix up the mushroom hammer. Make sure it's... Oh, that's not what I want to go to. Make sure the light texture is correct. And let's also make sure that the sprite is centered too. Was there something else? I was gonna do something else. Oh yeah, so there's also the particle effects. I'll just call that particle. Okay, and then for our hammer, let's give it a different particle effect. We'll call this red magic. Red magic. Okay, this one will be much larger. Let's make it nice red. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so there's like a more mushroomy kind of thing. Okay, pretty solid. Completed that. Settings do save. All right, pretty good stuff. I think we might actually just end it there because I think we did everything we wanted to. I have some other stuff that's just like kind of boring, just like technical stuff. Don't really want to do that. I can always just do that on my own. Okay, well, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully I can get to do this a little more often. Be pretty exciting. Yeah, and be on the lookout for the next devlog as well. I'm in the middle of working on that. I've already recorded the audio for that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I guess, so you can see me in the next devlog, next video. I'm currently also editing a video that's on I Learned to Draw in 7 days. So you can definitely be on the lookout for that one. I think that's going to be pretty entertaining for a lot of people. And I'm going to need your guys' opinions on all of my drawings too, because, well, they're not exactly the best, right? But I mean, I guess that's what you would expect, right? If it's in the first 7 days. But anyways, I'll see you